There's something strange about older Apple devices. Even when they stop getting updates, even when Apple officially moves on, even when apps start dropping support, they still don't feel like they're done. They look great, they're sleek, they were well ahead of their time in terms of design. Just cannot throw them away and add them to the e-waste pile. And the first generation iPad Air is a perfect example of that. Released back in 2013, this model A1474, this was Apple's big redesign moment. Thinner, lighter, faster. For the first time, it really earned the name Air. Even now, over a decade later, the design still holds up incredibly well. That 9.7-inch Retina display still looks sharp. The aluminium body still feels premium. And in the hand, it doesn't feel like something that should be considered obsolete. But officially, Apple left it behind at iOS 12.5.8. No more updates, no more new features, and slowly more apps and services started to drop support. So the obvious question becomes, what can you actually still do with it in 2026? Because here's the truth, unsupported doesn't mean useless. It just means you just need to use it in a different way. Now, before we go any further, yes, one of the biggest changes you'll immediately notice is with streaming and YouTube. The official YouTube app no longer works on this device. That's just reality now. But that doesn't mean YouTube is gone. You can still use it through the web browser, which actually works surprisingly well for basic viewing. It's not quite as smooth as the app used to be, but for watching videos, playlists, or background content, it still gets the job done. And if you're feeling a little bit more technical, I'll come back to that later in the video, because there are ways to improve that experience significantly. So with that out of the way, let's look at what this iPad Air is still genuinely good for. The first thing you'll notice is that despite its age, the iPad Air is still incredibly capable as a general media device. Because of that 7.9-inch Retina display, it still works brilliantly for watching downloaded content, browsing the web, catching up on videos through Safari, or just having something on in the background while you're cooking, relaxing, or working. A lot of people don't need a flagship tablet, they just need something simple that works. And this still does. But where things get interesting is when you stop trying to use it like a modern iPad, and instead give it a dedicated purpose. One of the best examples of this is turning it into a permanent digital dashboard. Weather, calendar, reminders, family schedules, smart home controls, all visible at a glance. Based on a stand or mounted on a wall, it becomes the kind of home information center, something you naturally walk past and check without even thinking about it. And because it's always plugged in, it doesn't matter that the battery isn't perfect anymore. It just sits there doing one job all day. Smart home controls is another huge one. Even though it's unsupported, many older versions of smart home applications still function if you install them through the purchase app method. Once set up, this iPad Air controls lights, plugs, thermostats, cameras, and media devices from a single screen. Now, I know a lot of the big branded ones have dropped support, but there are workarounds and ways to do it. There are ways and applications that still do those tasks, but maybe individually, and they still work on iOS 12. There are other workarounds where you can host a browser from a laptop or computer and use that custom URL to access the dashboard through Safari. So instead of grabbing your phone every time, you just walk over and tap the wall-mounted iPad. Simple and surprisingly effective. Now, this is where the iPad Air really starts to stand out compared to smaller devices. Reading and documents. The larger 7.9-inch display makes it perfect for ebooks, PDFs, manuals, magazines, and especially technical documents. And this is where it becomes extremely useful for mechanics, engineers, and DIY users. Instead of printing out workshop manuals or scrolling through pages on your phone, you can load everything directly into the iPad Air. Repair guides, wiring diagrams, part views, torque settings, service instructions, all of it becomes instantly accessible on a screen that's large enough to actually read while you're working. You could pop it on a bench, keep it next to your tools, and treat it like a living digital manual. It's one of the most practical uses for an iPad that people often overlook. Another area where this device really surprises people is music and performance use. Because the iPad Air is so thin and lightweight, it's incredibly easy to mount onto a music stand or microphone stand. This alone already makes it great replacement for carrying around folders full of music sheets. But here's a trick that takes it even further. If you use a teleprompter style app and paste your music into it, you can set it to slowly scroll through automatically as you play. That means no page turning, no stopping mid-performance, and no losing your place in a song. The music just flows down the screen at your chosen speed, giving you a completely hands-free performance setup using a device from 2013. It's one of those that sounds simple, but once you try it, it completely changes how you think about the device. You can also use the iPad Air as a dedicated photo frame. The Retina display still looks great for family photos, travel memories, or old albums, and because it's always on a stand or a wall mount, it becomes something you actually see and enjoy every day instead of sitting unused in a drawer. I've done previous videos of how to do and use these iPads as photo frames, so go back and check them out. And another really meaningful use that keeps coming up is family communication. A lot of people repurpose old iPads for parents and grandparents. The larger screen makes video calls easier, photos easier to view, and everything more accessible for users who don't want complicated modern devices. In some cases, people even leave them permanently set up for automatic calls or family photo sharing, turning them into dedicated connection devices. And because Apple, in January 2026, decided to keep FaceTime, iMessenger, etc. on these iPads, we know that this is still going to continue to work throughout 2027. Now, towards the more advanced end of things, there is one option worth mentioning: jailbreaking. This is absolutely something you should try only doing if you fully understand the risks and are comfortable experimenting. But what jailbreaking does allows you to unlock functionality that would normally be possible on unsupported devices. Now, always check the legality of jailbreaking in your country. However, jailbreaking in my country is not illegal. In some cases, it can help bring back app compatibility, enable tweaks, and even allow older versions of apps to work in ways they normally wouldn't. For example, there are workarounds that can help restore a more usable YouTube app experience, alongside other modifications I've covered in separate videos on this channel. So you can use the YouTube application, once again, even with sign-in support. If you're interested in going deeper into that side of things, I've got a dedicated guide on how to jailbreak this device safely, as well on how to fix and improve the YouTube app on older iPads, which I'll leave in the link in the description below. But even without going that far, the main point still stands. At the end of the day, the first generation iPad Air is far from dead. It might be unsupported, it might not run every modern app, but it still has a beautiful display, solid build quality, and more than enough power for dozens of everyday users. So, if you've got one sitting in a drawer somewhere, don't write it off yet. Give it a job, repurpose it, and you might be surprised just how useful a dead device from 2013 can still be in 2026. So guys, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Guys, go check out the merchandise, and if you want to support the channel even further, then do consider hitting that join button down below, becoming a member of the channel, and get early access to videos like this one and other perks along the way. And I will catch everyone in the next one.